This is one of the cleanest ways to close your piece, and today I'm going to teach you exactly how to do it. It is basically witchcraft. Today I'm going to teach you exactly how to do a covered magnet. This is something that so many people get wrong and you end up having a really bulky closure or one that's not strong enough. I'm going to break down the tips, the techniques, the tools, all of the specifications that you're going to need for your magnetic closure. Welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Oh wait, did you subscribe? Wonderful. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's dive straight into making the perfect magnetic closure for your design. Okay, so we're going to start off with a strip of leather. Now bear in mind this is much longer than you need, but it's so that we can split it down. If you don't have a splitter at home, which I'm assuming most of you don't, you want to have it sent off. You want this to be down to about 0.6 mil. 0.7 at a stretch, but 0.6 is about right. It needs to be slightly thinner than that at about 0.5 if you guys are using a weaker magnet. So the magnet I recommend is the N55, so that's a neodymium, god that's a hard word to say, magnet, a 55, they're graded. We're then going to cut that strip of leather in half, and you want those strips of leather to be about 6 centimeters wide. These are going to be cut down, but that's about where you want it. Now, typically I use a water-based adhesive for almost everything I do, but for covering magnets, because there's metal involved, I use a solvent-based contact adhesive. It doesn't matter which one you use. If you're in the US, probably barge cement. If you're in the UK, impact cement. But it's a solvent-based adhesive. You then want to put a dollop of your chosen contact adhesive down onto the leather after you've sanded the surface. Now bear in mind that these need to be the right polar side, so check before you do it, but the magnetic side, so that they join together, obviously. I hope it doesn't need to be said, but the magnetic side that attracts the other one down. After they've completely set in place, you want to put a circle, a really rather large circle around it, so they're kind of the size of the strip of leather. And this is the challenging part. This is the part that a lot of people get wrong. You want to put your bone folder onto the magnet and then run it off the side, putting downward pressure, so that the bone folder follows the curve of the magnet down into the leather. The idea, the end goal of this is that you get a really nice defined crease around the magnet, because we're going to be punching a hole in whatever it is that you're putting this magnet into. And that's kind of the whole thing, is this needs to fit through that hole. Depending on the size of the hole that you're making, it changes the size of the magnet. For this, it's a 20 millimeter magnet, so a 2 centimeter magnet going into a 2 centimeter hole. So this needs to be really, really accurately done. Take your time, make sure it's a very strict crease line, a very straight crease line around that. And yes, I am double checking that I've got it the right way around. Now, after you've done that, the material on the back, the white material, is a microfiber. It's 0.8 millimeters thick. You can use something slightly thinner if you'd like. I don't like using a rigid material on the back, simply because I like there to not be too much structure, because the more structure you have touching the back of the leather, the more you can see it. As a general rule, you want as little structure behind the leather, and if there is structure, you want to be able to hide it. So this is a very soft material, which again I had to use solvent-based adhesive because this particular fabric didn't stick to water-based adhesive. And now is the part you need a very sharp knife, so make sure you've stropped your blade first. The reason I'm wiping it off on my hand is because it doesn't stick, it's like a static pressure. But you want to skive the back and the front. The front is so that it sticks to the whatever you're gluing it to, and the back is to get that feather edge as small as possible. So this is like a 15 mil wide, 20 mil wide, something like that, circle around it. But the size of the circle around it doesn't really matter. You can get this is part of our sunglass pattern. that I made in collaboration with Bo the Maker. Brilliant pattern, love it. It's in my previous video about a Ray-Ban case. And I use these sort of cookie cutter things. You can just use normal hole punches, but these are what I've got at the moment. And then you want to make sure that that's obviously in exactly the right place for that pattern. I am creasing it, but I'll also be obviously prick marking it. So one of the tricks of this is I like to prick mark it or punch the stitching holes before I put the leather onto the magnet. Yes, I know this is different footage. Couldn't find the footage of the sunglass one. And then you want to go around it with a scalpel or something very, very sharp and pointy and scratch as much of that finish off as possible, but you need to be very careful because you don't want to scratch any finish off where you're going to be able to see. So I leave about 2 or 3 mil away from the magnet that is completely clean, just in case you can see through that little crack. So I'm also putting microfiber on the back of the leather that this is going through, and because the microfiber doesn't stick to the water-based adhesive, I have to use the solvent-based adhesive. Not my favourite choice, but hey ho, that's kind of what we're stuck with, just because of the material that I'm using. Why am I putting this material on the back of the leather? So when a leather is very soft, so you won't get this with a veg tan, but when a leather is very soft, anything on the back of it will form into that leather. So I needed a little bit of material on the back of the leather to make it less soft, so you wouldn't be able to see the shape of that disc behind it. You can see a little bit here, but when I stitch it in, you can't see it. So the reason it's a little trick is because if you put the stitching holes in there after you put the magnet on, they aren't necessarily in the right spaces because the leather can deform slightly as you mold it around that magnet. But then we're just going to saddle stitch it as normal. But at the end of this saddle stitch, because I'm not going to glue the lining to the back of this, I just pull it through and tie a knot there. When you're working with magnets, I strongly suggest you do not want to do what I'm doing here, because I'm using a steel hammer which repeatedly magnetized and stuck to the magnet, which was very irritating. A little bit of non-stretch tape to hide that knot. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was really, really useful to you. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Let me know what else do you want me to make. What else do you want me to teach you? And I will see you next time. Have a phenomenal week. Take care.